So, Armored Core 6 came out a few months ago, and honestly, I didn't have much interest in playing it. I had nothing against it, I just didn't know anything about the series, and while I heard good reviews from many people, I didn't really look into it enough to know what the gameplay looked like. I just heard from word of mouth that the game was good. Lately, however, I got my hands on the game and really took a dive into the weeds to see what Armored Core 6 was all about. And let me tell you, this game blew my expectations out of the water. Click that subscribe button for me real quick and let's get into this. First of all, it would be a crime not to talk about the customization in this game. Immediately after the first mission of the game, I made myself a Gundam. The color customization really is quite good, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. To customize your bot in this game, all you need is the money to buy your parts, and that's pretty easy to come across, especially playing and replaying certain missions. All you do is buy the parts, strap them to your bot, accounting for weight and energy use of course, and you're good to go and play however you want to. If you buy something from the part shop that you don't really like that much, you can resell it to the shop for the exact same price that you bought it for, making customization really easy. It just works towards the enjoyment of the player so much more than most games would have it. We've also got a trading room with multiple different bots you can set up to test yourself against, which is awesome. And the reason you're going to want to get so familiar with the customization system is because there's no one build that will carry you through every mission or arena fight that you're up against. Many times I had to swap between different kinetic, energy, and explosive weapons just to get the best edge against my opponent that I can, and I really like this system. It really feels good to play through so many missions and experience so many different weapons and ways to fight. Do you want missiles strapped to your shoulders for offensive pressure while you're gunning away? We've got that. Did you want a couple extra weapons on your back so you can have all sorts of weapon types to cover whichever adversary may come your way? We've got that too. Did you want to stay grounded while you boost around, or would you like long jumping dashes instead? Maybe you don't care that much about boosting and you'd rather be a four-legged tank with hovering capabilities and heavy equip load capacity. Or maybe turning yourself into a literal tank with treads and all, ready to gun down whichever piece of metal gets in your way is more your style. We've got all of this, and I haven't even really mentioned how varied these weapons can be. From beam swords to regular rifles to energy beams, shotguns, grenade launchers. Yeah, you've got nothing to worry about, it's all here. I cannot overstate how amazing this customization is. You can be as tanky or lightweight as you want to be, and there will always be a winning strategy you can chase. It's all about having you find your own way to do it, and I really love this part of the game. Clearly. With all that building stuff out of the way though, can we talk about this gameplay? I feel like 90% of mech games that I've played have me running around with a clunky ass mech, making it feel like I'm piloting this huge machine that has no grace. Gundam Evolution was a little different in this regard, but I'd like to put that game in the same boat, as most of the bots just don't really feel like they can move that much at all. But this game makes me feel like I'm an anime robot come to destroy all that lay in my path. The movement is quick and snappy. The boost meter doesn't take an eternity to refill. The charge boost forward feels amazing and doesn't consume a crazy amount of boost for how much ground it covers. So much of the control in this game makes me feel like I'm a superhero, and with how customizable it is, I'm sure everybody will be capable of finding a build that gives them that same feeling. Enough about the robots though. What are we using them for in this game? I'm happy to report that there is more than just shooting other robots here. Many of the missions you'll be taking on directly apply to the story of the game. Sometimes there will be a more relaxed surveying mission, and other times you'll be fighting less robots and more so taking out gigantic machines to better the size of your operations in the world. Genuinely, I feel like the variance from mission to mission is really nice. Plenty of relaxed romps, many missions where you're fighting through tons of robots, mixed with some really good boss fights here and there. And while I don't understand the story 100% of the time, I'm sure there's a lot to know here as well. I'll definitely be listening to some videos talking about Armored Core lore in the days to come. I'm only a decent bit into the game now, and while I don't know how much there is still ahead of me, I feel like I'm nowhere near the end of it at all. There's just so much I hope to discover and so much I expect to blow me away. Sometimes literally. The boss fights in this game can be crazy hard, and it took me like 3 bosses into the game to finally get the hang of how I'm meant to fight them and keep my eye on everything going on at the same time. These fights aren't easy by any stretch, and the challenge they offer makes me feel really good when I finally complete them. Some bosses have taken me quite a few attempts to finally beat, and some have been a little easier for me to get through. But even the bosses that have taken me quite a while have only taken one single try when revisiting the mission later, and it feels good to know that I've learned and adapted to what they can do. Aside from the bosses though, we have an arena mode unlocked after a few missions that pits you in a single fight against other bots of varying ranks. You start at rank F and you slowly climb your way up as you beat them all one by one. You unlock higher ranked arena fights by progressing through the story missions, and as I've only completed rank C, I can say that these fights are going to get much harder yet. Some of the C fights have already taken a decent bit of effort from my end, and again, they're all quite satisfying to keep taking on. In beating these arena fights, you'll also be unlocking these upgrade chips that can be spent on a skill tree of sorts. You can get all sorts of upgrades here, like deployable shields, kicking out of your forward boost, putting regular weapons on your shoulders instead of shoulder-mounted guns, and way more. These upgrades allow you to continue stepping up your game as you play through it, and it just adds to the progression you'll feel the entire time making your way through this game. To wrap this all up, I really love Armored Core 6. Somehow, this is the first mech game that's given me such an intense feeling that I'm in a cool-ass robot, doing cool-ass maneuvers, and just generally styling all over the competition. Armored Core 6 is a game you should 100% pick up if you are looking for a game that shows you what a mech game can truly be. There's a little something for everybody in the ways you can customize your gameplay, so I say give it a shot. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Anyways, everybody, I gotta keep it moving for the next video coming out, so if you'd like to stay tuned and see when that releases, feel free to subscribe below. 99% of the people viewing my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel, so every one of you helps. And if you like the video, consider liking the video. As for now, my name is Myloe, and I'm out.